Well, we'll see if our guest can tell us what this team is. And all guests are coming to you via the Fire Wings hotline.
What
Try
does
one of
he
their
know about
delicious
basketball?
flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. Yeah, what does he know about basketball?
The legend.
He is a Kings legend. He's a legend here at KHTK, on TV as well. Good morning, Doug Christie. How are you?
Top of the morning to you, gentlemen. What's happening?
Well, we're trying to sort things out. You know basketball far better than we do, and we know it's the nature of the game. You can have a great win and then come back and not play as well, lay an egg, whatever phrase you want to say. Dave and I were saying that we know Coach Walton talked about limiting turnovers. Don't foul them. Don't overlook this team, and it feels like the Kings fell into all those things last night.
You know, the Kings, they're still evolving and developing. And I think one of the things that we saw last night is playing to the level of your competition. And that's not good for a team because when it's a big game, you get up, everyone's excited. And that's not a good mentality. That's a mentality of a team that is not good. But I see them and I see all the positives and the ability for them to compete on a high level. Well, what's really going to define them is going to be when you play the teams that you're supposed to beat. Can you focus long enough to be able to beat them? For instance, swinging for the fences and going for the home run as opposed to getting base hits. And my two keys last night were get to the basket, and you'll get anything that you want, and then don't turn the basketball over. And I'll be god darn if in the first quarter they were playing that way, up 11, and then all of a sudden they start turning the ball over. They stop going to the basket, settling on one pass, three-pointers, and that's where you get the big swings in the NBA because the three-pointer is kind of like a launch angle. It's going for the home run as opposed to laying down a bunt, getting a base hit. And if Kings do that, that's learning how to win basketball games.
Doug Christie with us. Good morning, Doug. How are you?
Top of the morning to you, sir. How's your dad doing?
He's doing day by day. He was paying bills with my sister yesterday because he's a stubborn old guy. So that's
if you're paying bills, man, you're living the life, man. So give him a hug for me, buddy.
I will. I appreciate you, and I need you to top me off because I have played a grand total of 0 NBA minutes. It's the opposite for you. You've been there before. I'm very upset about last night's game, DC. I don't mind losing on the road to Toronto, to the Lakers, to Boston. I don't mind losing to these teams where the Kings play their ass off. My question earlier to Jason was, I don't feel like, maybe with the exception of Rashawn Holmes, I don't know if there's any dogs on this team. And I remember with you were a dog. There's no doubt about it. Bobby was a dog. Vernon Maxwell was a dog. John Barry was a dog. Shump was a dog. Zach was a dog. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when you're down 19 at home, when the coaching staff told you it was a trap game, told you to get your head out, and before the game, everybody knew it. You're getting embarrassed at home by 19. Who's slapping people around in timeouts? Who's the one getting everyone's ear? Is that a problem that we just don't have those guys right now?
No, because I think that when you look at a game like Denver and you're able to pull that out, that's a dog fight. Now, I know what you're saying. I think that the fight is in them. I think ultimately when you look at that game last night, because you just said it, you said Coach Walton is telling them, correct?
Yep.
Well, that means that the message is being sent, and I would agree with you because graciously I've been around practicing different things, and I see what the coaching staff is telling them. I think why last night is a good thing is because you're not as good as your win, but you're not as bad as your loss. So the things that have been being preached in practice, this is the ability for the coaching staff to lay down the hammer to say, look, guys, you kind of started feeling yourself and smelling yourself, and you didn't pay attention to detail, and you're thinking that you're just going to swing your way out of it with three-pointers, and that's not what's going to happen. What's going to get us is the attention to detail on the defensive end and following the game plan and making sure, let's just get out of here with the win. And in many ways, that's that dog mentality, because it's the mentality. A dog, can you be obedient? Can you do exactly what you need to do? But then at the same time, will you bite the hell out of somebody on their butt?
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what you're saying. I see it in them. Do they have necessarily that guy with that personality? No, maybe not that necessarily personality, with the exception of Rashawn Holmes, like you said. But I don't see any dogs on those championship teams that were San Antonio with the personality, but they had the mindset.
Yeah.
Doug Christie joining us here on The Drive on KHTK. Doug, something that Dave and I were talking about earlier, obviously when you're down Marvin and you're down De'Aaron Fox, you need everybody to play together, and I think they've done a really good job of that with the two starters missing. But a key piece is Bogey, and he certainly doesn't look 100%, and I know they kind of limited his minutes. Would it be productive to shelve him for a week or two, or do you just kind of bide the time and see what Bogey can give you, even if he's not 100%?
I'm not really sure, because someone called into the show with Grant and I and posed this question, and my answer was, I think Bogey's 100%, because at this, you're never 100%. You guys know that, but you know what I mean, meaning that he is okay to play. I don't know. I haven't seen anything in him. I haven't seen a change in his gait. I do see that sometimes he wears the knee sleeve. There was just some bad plays, and I think that sometimes we over dribble, we do certain things out there on the floor, but when he's knocking down shots, and he knocked down a few, then it feels great. But when you're not, then it's like, maybe I haven't heard anything, but I don't think that he's injured. As far as the minutes go, I don't know. Maybe that was just a feeling and a vibe, and one guy, you're trying to find that right combination, because I think we got to recognize also, Guy, I still think Luke is figuring the team out in situational basketball and different things like that, because not to mention his two best players are down right now. So what works? What vibe? Now, and then you got Trevor Ariza back last night, so it's unfortunately been a constant mix of trying to vibe and figure out exactly what you got on a night-to-night basis.
Doug Christie with us, and Doug, I'm still pissed about last night's game, so I want to shy away from excuses, but I do want to ask you, styles make fights. Even at the top of your guys' game, you guys are going to Atlanta and legs all the time for some reason. That was a place that those great Kings teams would struggle from time to time, and I mean, there's theories, but you know what I'm saying. So in this case last night, we've said the Bulls are playing below their talent level this year. Are the Bulls a type of team in your mind that just particularly match up well with the Kings, or was this more the Kings lost it than the Bulls won it?
Yeah, this is nothing about the style of this fight. We should beat the hell out of them.
Okay.
I mean, I thought that the first quarter demonstrated it was easy basketball. If this was one of those fundamental games, if you just come out and you throw your jab, you block, you play good defense, throw your jab, eventually you're going to knock them out. Right. And unfortunately, we just, we're swinging as opposed to jabbing. And that's a team that they were number one guys in the league in turnover. I mean, in steals at 9.8 a game. And with that type of athleticism, they get out in the open court and they finish. What that does is it builds confidence. And all of a sudden you get Dunn gets a dunk, he gets a little confidence. You get Marketing, he gets a layup, he gets some confidence. Zach LaVine he was just kind of hanging out, but he's a guy that can go for 50. Once you give them that confidence, that's the type of scary team that they can compete against anyone. If you watch some of their last games, they were in there with some of those teams. They were in there with Portland. They just couldn't pull that game out. And unfortunately, we allowed them to start gaining confidence, opposed to, squeezing the neck, stepping on the neck, sitting on the neck, falling on the neck, hammering the neck, and then just go ahead and putting them away.
Doug, how easy do you think it'll be? Will it be a pretty smooth transition when Marvin comes back, or how much of an adjustment do you anticipate for this team that did figure out a way to play without him and with Fox?
I kind of cautioned Kings fans yesterday. I think it's going to be a little bumpy because first of all, you're bringing back a player, but you're also bringing back one of your best players, but you're also bringing back a young player who's been injured a few times, and he's still trying to define and find his way. I think we know what De'Aaron Fox is, but with Marvin Bagley, he's a guy that can give you 25 and 12 on any given night, on every given night. You throw him the basketball, but is that going to be the winning formula, or is 16 and 13 and we're going to be rolling? Well, that's going to be the vibe of trying to figure out what are the rotations, how does it go, is Marvin going to be hitting his jump shot? We brought in Dedmon to pair with Marvin so that Marvin could play inside and kind of develop his outside game, but Dedmon hasn't played that well, plus Marvin's been out, so the combination isn't there. Do you play Marvin at center and then allow Nemanja to play that role? But then if you do that, you take Richaun Holmes out of the lineup. Do you play Richaun Holmes and Marvin Bagley together? Can Marvin shoot well enough to play with Richaun Holmes? These are the issues that are going to get resolved. And will there be some bumps? I say yes, there will be some bumps. But the trend, in my opinion, is going to be up. And after 40 games, I said this yesterday, if the Kings are about 20 and 20 right there, I think we're in prime position, guys, to strike.
Doug Christie with us. Looking ahead, let's talk about De'Aaron Fox. We got the updates on both Bagley and Fox. Fox will be reevaluated in a couple weeks. Bagley, or we're hoping, will be back sometime next week. Doug, there's no question. You hear, well, could the Kings maybe not be as good when Fox comes back? Look at the defense they're playing. And, of course, that's malarkey. They're going to be a better team. I want to test a theory out on you, though. I was talking about Corey Joseph. I feel like, and you're the guy who knows defense back and forth, I feel like the advantage the Kings have with Corey Joseph, Doug, is that he takes 6 shots a game. There's zero pressure on him offensively. Anything he does is a bonus. Can De'Aaron Fox bring his defense to a Corey Joseph level, even close, or is there, in your opinion, too much pressure on him to do things on the offensive end, including distributing and obviously scoring, where it's just an unfair comparison between the two?
To be honest, you guys, I think De'Aaron's defense is already at a Corey Joseph level. That's just my opinion. I'm very high on De'Aaron Fox's defense. I just think his defense isn't as polished and savvy, meaning that sometimes he may swing for the fences on a defensive end and go for a steal or something, where Corey, you'll just sit on it, and that's really quality defense. And, Nemanja is the same way. Is Nemanja, if you looked at him and said, is he going to be a better defender than Marvin Bagley? I would say no, but he is a better defender. Why? Because it's all position defense, and Marvin uses his athleticism, and that's not good on defense. That equates to fouls. I think that De'Aaron is going to be an all-league defender. I think being around Corey, watching these last few games or that he's been out, I think is going to be spectacular. Sometimes you're going to gain by losing. By him sitting down, he's forced to watch and see, like, I know I can do what Corey Joseph is doing. Matter of fact, I can do more, but let's look at what he's doing. He is moving his feet. He's staying in front of the guy. There's been many times, guys, when I've been on the air, and I'm like, oh, my God, look at the way De'Aaron is moving his feet, his anticipation, all the different things. He's a quality defender. Now he just has to begin to polish that side of his game and not try to swing for the fences all the time. Sit down on it. Just go ahead and make sure that you stop your guy. You outthink him. Be ahead. Make sure you're where you're supposed to be. You don't have to hit a home run every time. So I think he'll be fine on the defensive end.
Doug, this road trip, you guys head off to Portland today. It's a 4-game trip that goes to Western Conference teams at least, but starts in Portland. Already the 3rd matchup this year against the Blazers, but the first time with Carmelo Anthony. How do you think that wrinkle will be different for tomorrow night's game?
I mean, if the Kings are playing, first of all, Portland is playing a back-to-back. I don't know if that's Melo's first back-to-back or not. I'll have to look into that. But I think we'll be fine. When you talk about Trevor Ariza, when you talk about Harrison Barnes, to a certain extent, obviously Nemanja can guard him. He's not as fast. Sometimes you might need to run a quick double team at him or something like that. I don't, if we're totally having to worry about Melo. That would be a bad thing. I mean, really, who you need to worry about is Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum. But now with that third scorer, and that's something that they've been looking for quite some time. They tried to find it in Rodney Hood. They tried to find it in a few players, and it just didn't work out to the level that they would like. Well, Melo is definitely a scorer right now, reigning Western Conference Player of the Week. So, you know what? I think that we'll be fine, man. I mean, obviously, listen, we play to the level of our competition right now sometimes. Well, this is a better team. Well, we're going to play better. I think that we go up there. That is a tough place to win. I mean, even when we were at the height, you guys, I mean, Portland is not notoriously. It is just, I don't know, man. It's something in the water, microbrewery, it's coffee, voodoo donuts. I don't know what the hell it is.
Doug Christie with us. Doug, you know my love and respect for you has no bounds, which is why I wanted to wait till the end of this interview. I just wanted to bring up some controversy from last night's game, and you may not want to comment on it, but our old friend Isaiah Thomas put a tweet out yesterday. He said, I'm watching this Kings-Bulls game, and I see they've got the pizza guy ads. Do they have a new pizza guy? And now I read that, and at first I said, how does Isaiah Thomas not know? And then I went, wait a minute, hold on a second. These are Seattle guys. Isaiah Thomas.
He's trolling.
He's trolling you, man. He's trolling you, and I just want to know, do you think things will ever be the same between the two of you, or do you just, as a veteran, do you look past it and move on?
That's my dude, man. If he wants to be listen, if he wants to be the pizza guy, your boy just steps aside and pizza guy it up. Matter of fact, you guys understand, I am not the pizza guy. You do know that, right? I just did a commercial. You understand? Because the pizza guy, I'm sure, gets paid at a really high clip, right? We both okay. So that first of all defines that I am not freaking the pizza guy. Okay. But, hey, you know what? Might sell it. Hey, we could do a commercial together. I mean, there's a lot of different ways. We're both from the north. You feel me? Yeah. You know, Ben McLemore was in there. I don't know if they're bringing Benny Mac back, but everyone loves IT. The point is, I am officially, I have not been Don, the pizza guy. When that happens, you probably, you see a lot of things step up, man. Sure. You know what I mean by that, right?
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking, okay, so you could be like the pizza man or the pizza godfather here. Well, godfather. And then check it out. No, this is genius because we were talking about this earlier, DC. You bring IT back. You've got you in the commercial, and then hold on, wait for it. You have Nemanja and you have Kyle come up from Stockton, and you have Bielitsa Guy. I mean, bro,
look at you, man. You know what? You know what that's like? That's like what is that? HEB commercials for the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, that's right.
Now, I will say this to the pizza guy. You know, you're gonna have to step your budget up. Obviously, I mean,
you're not doing it for pepperoni.
No. As a matter of fact, I don't even eat pork, so you're in trouble.
Gold-plated pepperoni.
That's right. That's right. Well, Doug, how about those? As we go here, how about those Seahawks?
Oh, come on, Jason.
Hey, how about those Seahawks? Now I'm trolling.
Now you're trolling.
Yeah. Hey, talons up, baby.
Talons up.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
Did you guys know this? I don't know if you know this, and everyone do not wreck your cars or anything, but the Seahawks are in the first place in the AFC West. Yeah. Do you know what that does to the 49ers at this particular point right now, you guys?
Yeah, we're in the 5.
Oh, my goodness.
Till that last game of the year, when we go up there and whoop that ass at the link, though. You know that's coming.
You know what? This is a strong possibility, man. Listen. I'm being really serious here right now. In my opinion, the 49ers are not the best team in the league. They're one of the top 3 teams in the NFL, man. I mean, that defense travels in a big way, and for that purpose alone, you will always be in the game. I'm sure of one thing. The Dallas Cowboys, say they win the NFC East, they do not want to see the 49ers walk into the billion-dollar playpen. They did not in a wild card game. They do not want to see that.
Doug, have they had you raise the 12 flag before?
No, I've never had the honor of raising it.
We need to make that happen.
No.
We got to make that
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, listen, man. So you're kind of like you're trending towards like an agent. You know what I'm saying? You got the
I'm here
pizza
for you.
guys idea. You got the 12 guy. I mean, you guys just what we could sell it on air right now. What, like 2%? Is that what we're looking at?
I think you got plenty of media savvy people in your family, Doug. You don't need me one bit. You shout out my dad on TV. I'm going to do everything I can to put money in your wallet, dude.
I appreciate it, man. Just trying to raise that stock portfolio up.
There you go. Well, it's always on the rise. Doug, thank you so much for getting up for us this morning, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, guys. Have a good one.
The Drive.